Hello again, Strokwap. Welcome back to another evening of me streaming. Today I will start with a bit of Torchlight Frontiers and then maybe after 2.5 hours or so move on to showing you a bit of Wosen on a separate stream. So I'm gonna stream a bit of Torchlight Frontiers, then I'm gonna pause for like 5-10 minutes and then restart the stream. So keep that in mind. If you want to watch something else later, there will be, but for now I wanna do some Torchlight Frontiers. I'm open to teaming up with others. If you need help, any type of help, if you need information, any type of information, feel free to ask me. Let's have some fun together. In the
Hey ho.
meantime, I'm just gonna... What do I wanna go on? Let's go on the Realm Master, maybe. For just for a bit on that Realm Master. And after that I can do something else like mage, forged, but also I'm always open to requests. If you want to see more gameplay of the forged, I can oblige show you some gameplay of the forged. If you want to see some mage, I can log in on the mage for a few maps. If you want me to change my build, I can currently do that. And hey, Happy Hippos, nice to see you. Haven't even started properly and you're here. Nice to see you again. I hope you're excited about update 10. It is getting closer and closer. And they promised to give us some information this week. So maybe next week we might see, I'm just guessing here, but next week maybe we could see a stream that's previewing the upcoming update. One can only guess. One can only guess. So I'm wondering what to do now. Let's do some endgame maps. I've got some blue maps that are left over. So I'm just gonna do those blue maps. No, I can't enter. Splendid. Just great. How do I enter this map? There we go. There we go. Managed to get into the map. So 2020, big year for Torchlight Frontiers. Can't wait to see some patch notes or updates or news regarding this update, so I can give you all the info myself with my thoughts on it. I do have some guesses, but I'm kind of keeping most of my guesses to myself regarding what's gonna be changing. Wait, something's missing in my build. Yes. No, that's not it. Relic weapon. This is missing. My main guess, which I've shared already multiple times, is they probably untied the frontier levels from the character levels.
I wrote
So
you a
that
long
adding new
message, pressed
frontiers
wrong
would
button,
not...
it's gone XD.
Whoa! LOL, LOL. I'm sorry about that. Well, you can write it again, but on a few shorter messages,
Just
just to
wanted to
avoid.
give you an important information. For some month I donated to you on your side.
For some month you donated. Wait. You have what? You have. Do you mean by donating on the Stream Elements website? Is that what you mean? Let me just check. Stream Elements. And if you have
Stream Elements.
on Stream
Yes.
Elements, wow. Cheers for that. I'm wondering why I've never received the info. When was that? Did you say it was now, like a month ago?
Problem is,
That's good to let me know about this, cause I'm checking my reports.
you did. You even said thank you.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine. I do remember that you were before, but But yeah, my stream elements shows
It's
something
4
for
to
May.
6 months ago. Carrot carrot.
Oh, it must have been May. I do have a donation from May. But I think that was from Judge 80. But there are some things
But
113
problem
from
is,
July.
the site is a scam.
It is? Really? The stream elements, that's a legit software, by the way. If you tell me which link you used, I can check it. Maybe it is another one. It's
You get
good
a
to know
payment
about this.
subscription. If you don't pay attention,
I need to look into this because this is annoying. I've not seen anything like that, but you're saying you used the link.
that's something which is illegal by law in Germany.
Did you say you used the link that was in my description? Streamelements.com struct.tof. I'm gonna try and use that link myself. So if I were to select a tip currency, but wait, this is a tipping. This is a one-time tip. Let me check it myself. So I'm logging with my PayPal.
I donated to you.
Okay, I'm gonna try and donate myself just to see what would happen, just to confirm it, because it's tipping and.
But the site give you a subscription which you have to manually
Oh,
cancel.
it's not letting me log in because I'm trying to log in with the account of the seller. I'm gonna have to look into this. I might just tell people to avoid using it
And
then
the money
for now.
don't even goes to
But
you as a streamer.
But I really don't. I really don't know if that's the case. Do you remember the amount of money you tipped? Because so far everyone who has
They use
tipped.
the information and give it to themselves. I highly recommend you Patreon.
So far, people have never told me about issues like that, and it's the first time I'm hearing about this, and I need to look into this because so far people have used it before, and this did go to me. It did go right into my PayPal. So I'm gonna contact Stream Elements to see if you know the exact date. It would be nice to tell me the exact date. Stream Elements has very good support, and I wanna get to the bottom of it. So if you say it's a subscription rather than a one-time tip, then definitely I need to talk to Stream Elements
Why you
and
get the
tell
money?
them to.
That's all fine.
Because before I have seen money coming through Stream Elements, and it goes straight into my PayPal account.
The problem is the VIP subscription to the site.
VIP subscription to the site. Could you tell me where you saw this VIP subscription to the site? Because the only subscription I have is Twitch subscriptions. And of course there's YouTube subscriptions, but those are free. You just click a button. So it's gonna be good to tell me some more info, because I really am not a fan of people having issues when it comes to those things on my channel. But yeah, if you kind of tell me where you clicked on this link, because the link I have is
And that's the problem, it's kind of hiding.
It's hiding. Okay, let me see if I can hide and try and find the link. So the link is streamelements.com/struck_tof/tip. From there, where do people click to go for a subscription? Like, I only see the tip. I only see tip amount, currency.
They use the information and then you have subscription for Steam Lab.
I'm not seeing this. That's pretty strange. Like, when I click tip, it just puts me straight into
Streams ready. And this makes no sense.
Okay, let me walk on my other browser with another account. I'm gonna try and check it with my other PayPal.
Cause it's a different side.
I'm just gonna check it myself just to see. I'm just not seeing where this message shows up because it's weird.
Looked up
It's the
many
first time
forum
I've
posts
seen
with
this.
people having the same problem with this side.
I'm gonna look into it, and if there's a way to disable this, it would be good. So I'm gonna try and walk on my other browser with another account and try to tip myself from it just to see how it would work. So I'm logging on my personal account just to see what would happen with the... Let's see. It's logging me in. I probably don't have money in my other account, but we'll see. Oh, it says it's the account of the
Maybe
seller.
hiding on
Fuck.
terms of service.
I would need to make a separate PayPal account because at the moment I can't log in and check it myself. But when I go to my link, I don't see anything regarding subscription to stream elements. The only thing I see is the tipping. So it's kind of hard for me to see where you might have clicked to get to there. Is it after the donation or before the donation? Like, is it after the tip or before the tip that you saw this message, this subscription? Like, it would be nice to know the exact steps you took so I can try and recreate it later from someone else's account just to see how it works. I also had a friend of mine long ago, like in September or so, donating 420 to me, and I didn't have him. He did it by himself without me even asking him to, but he never
Life
reported
support
something like this.
systems repaired.
Wait, someone just did it. Someone just did something. See, Strider tipped.
That's the problem, it is hiding somewhere. Maybe it's in term of service. Maybe it's just
says
RLY scam.
it says Strider 6000 just donated, tipped $1. Thank you, Strider, for that. And if you are Strider, thanks a lot. And can you tell me what's happening if it's asking you for a subscription? And I hope if you just did it for testing that you can refund this, and it's really appreciated. But it's the first time I'm hearing about this, and I'm really gonna ask Streamlabs support, Stream Element support, because they have been very helpful last time I contacted them. And if there really is something wrong, I want to get to the bottom of it. But the only thing I see is the
Tested
tipping.
it for you. No subtask 4. Maybe some people just had bad luck, but I and several others just got a hiding subscription on Streamlab for this.
Hiding subscription on Streamlabs. And is it for the amount you donated or is it for something else? Like, is there like a checkbox or something? Man, I'm gonna when my brother is back home, once I finish my stream, I'm gonna ask him to just help me log in from his PayPal account to see what would happen. And thank you, Strider, for testing it. Really appreciate it. If you can tell me whether you saw some checkboxes maybe, because you said you didn't see anything regarding subs.
It's always $6.
It's always
5.99.
always $5.99. I'm gonna look into this on Google in a moment. Stream Elements subscription.
No subs. Followed your tip link below.
Thanks for following this and yeah, I also can't see any information about this. See, even when I go somewhere else, I'm definitely not seeing it. I'm googling it. I'm checking the stream elements pro subscription. Is that it? Stream elements pro subscription. First, what is stream? Oh, that's stream waps. It's a different thing. Are you sure it was stream elements, not stream waps, Happy Hippos? Because I changed some months ago. I switched from stream waps to stream elements. I was using stream waps until a few months ago, and then I changed from stream waps to stream elements. So I'm wondering if it could have been stream waps and not stream elements. But you said stream elements, so it probably is stream elements. I know you wouldn't get that mistaken. Because when I looked into subscriptions and stream elements,
then there is the problem. Then Streamlab.
If you can check whether it's with stream waps or stream elements, then I would be grateful. But I've long ago replaced my links. I even went back to all my videos from up to April. If it was 4-6 months ago, it's probably stream waps. It definitely was stream waps, but what I did is I went and edited every single YouTube video that contained the old stream waps link.
Would make sense.
Yes, so thankfully this can no longer happen because this link, first of all, I disabled it. I removed it from all different places. I even went back to all my YouTube videos dating to April 2019 and changed the descriptions to match the new links. Tomorrow I'm gonna log in and see if I might have missed some links, just in case that someone watches an old video, they don't stumble on the old link. So probably it might have been stream waps. They seem to be the greedier company. That's why I decided to go for stream elements. Stream waps were greedy in such a way that they decided to remove their free merch shop. So they had a nice merchandise shop that I could set up easily, and they removed it. They only made it for subscribers.
Okay,
so
good that you changed.
I did change because they seem to be more greedy, and it's not fair when you offer something for free and then immediately change it to someone and start charging from the same service that was free.
And got a hiding subscription.
Thanks for letting me know, but thankfully this is no longer the company I'm using, and I'm really sorry to hear that there was a hiding subscription with stream waps. Stream Elements, on the other side, just recently started the beta testing of their merchandise store, and they're offering better deals for both the streamers and the viewers, the people who get the merchandise. Currently I'm waiting for more options before I move my Flocker shop to Stream Elements, so I'm currently using Flocker, which doesn't have great prices. Currently it's kind of expensive for people like from poor countries like mine. So, by the way, I'm gonna show you something, guys. I made a new Twitch emote, which I've submitted. I'm gonna quickly preview the new Twitch emote, and I'm gonna ask you something, what you think as a Twitch Mixer YouTube emote for my channel, whether you like it, whether you think it should replace my current tier 2 or my current tier 3. So the new emote you will see in a moment. I'm gonna show you the small version, the big version, and everything else. Just a moment. It was something I made myself. I'm bad at drawing, so keep that in mind. My drawing is terrible. So I'm not sure whether you can see it. There we go. So this is the smallest version. This is 28 by 28, like what's gonna be seen on Twitch, kind of in a white background though. It's not in a black background. This is the slightly bigger version. This is and this is supposed to be the Wood Fiend. My idea of what the Wood Fiend would look like. It's supposed to be like a goat-like creature, but when I tried to draw the head like a goat...
Since you changed side, the problem should be solved. Good to hear. I didn't paid attention and paid that side some money due PayPal, and this
Thanks
money
to
didn't even got to you.
Thanks for bringing this to my attention though, and thankfully I
BTW
changed the
nice
site
monster
months
logo.
ago. And glad you think so. So now I just want some feedback from you guys. I currently want to change one of my modes, and I'm thinking which one to change. Do I change this one? This one, which is this one, and also the biggest version should be. So do I change this one or do I change the keep it cool one, which is the keep it cool one should be this one or this one. That's the big version. So which one do you think I should change? The keep it cool or the struck up logo? At the moment I submitted the struck up logo which you're seeing at the moment to be changed for the monster, for the wood fiend. So let me know what you think. I'm bad at drawing. This was my attempt to create a Twitch emote from scratch. I was watching some tutorials
Keep
regarding
it cool,
what other people do. So keep it cool is what needs to go. Okay, I'm gonna submit it later. I'm gonna try and get it into YouTube and Mixer and Twitch. So I'm gonna submit my struck quip as tier 3 again, and I'm gonna submit my wood fiend as tier 2. Currently my tier 1 is a heart emote, a struck heart emote, struck laugh. And so we started with a bit of off topic. Didn't plan on that, but thanks at least for bringing this to my attention. Now I do know that the stream WAPs, which I'm no longer using, are even more greedy than I expected. And not just greedy, but shady type of greedy. So I'm never going back to them as my streaming software. Stream Elements seems to be the more user-friendly, the more helpful support type of company as well. And many people have been migrating from Streamwapes to Stream Elements. So I will be streaming a bit of Wosen later tonight, by the way. This would go for another 2 hours from now, roughly. It's 6:28, let's say until 8:30. Then I can have a bit of a pause for a few minutes and restart the stream. Exactly, it looks trustworthy, it's better, it's very user-friendly as well. So if anyone is thinking of streaming, I strongly suggest testing Stream Elements if you're using Streamwapes. The migration process is pretty easy. I could just import my stuff there and set it up easily. I am using some templates, animations from the old
build guides from you. Grinning face never stopped watching you, just didn't load it in carrot.
Oh yeah, I'm also hyped and want to make walls and build guides, but I'm definitely gonna wait for the launch. Anything I do now is gonna be pointless, and I'm not desperate for viewers and subscribers to be making guides that would be outdated after a month from now. Exactly a month from now is when Wosen launches, so you're gonna have to be patient. I can still give you some ideas about builds on my stream. Today I tried maximum rage build. I tried picking up every single rage node I can find. So on the different mage classes, I managed to pick up a node for 250, then another for like another 3 for like another 500 rage. So I got my rage to like 1600 and something, and the damage based on rage definitely bumped up. Definitely got bumped up. So for my spin to win setup, which is for farming easier things, it went pretty well. If I just min-max the gear, I can see my spin to win doing nice damage together with my what's it called? The Warpath. The Warpath skill is amazing. I saw someone in the Discord, Steph something, on the Discord in Wosen, showing a screenshot or a thumbnail of a video. I didn't watch the video, but there was a thumbnail of it. Him doing 130 something thousand damage with Warpath. Which probably, I'm assuming he's using similar build to the one I'm using, just with better gear, I'm assuming. Which is a spin to win setup with Warpath and with damage based on rage and damage based on nearby enemies. So as you're traveling with Warpath and you're moving through enemies, it keeps adding that extra damage, which I think is a glitch. But yeah, I'm so excited for this, for Wosen launching. Okay, a second legendary. Is it something I've got? It's something I've never seen. This game, Torchlight Frontiers, keeps surprising me. I'm also looking forward to the Torchlight Frontiers news about update 10. Yeah, I've never worn this one. This is amazing. Another weapon for my collection. I've already recorded 80 something items, which would be released shortly after update 10. Or maybe shortly before update 10. I have like me wearing 80 something different legendary items. Different legendary sets with few missing pieces.
Okay, just log out but still watching you. Thanks for your videos. Just wanted to share this important information. But
thank you for sharing it, dude.
Happening again.
Thank you for sharing it. I really appreciate people bringing things like that, and now I'm just so disappointed from a company like Streamlabs, and it probably explains why many people were switching from Streamlabs to Stream Elements or to XSplit as the streaming platform, or the streaming software, not platform. And I know you've been one of my regular viewers that have been enjoying my Torchlight Frontiers and other games streams and content. And it's sad to hear that it happened to someone that's been here for quite some time. Thankfully it can no longer happen because I've removed those links and I'm using a different platform to handle this. So this Hellblade, I'm gonna make sure I record it before update 10 and put it into the category. Woods Beast Sandals. I'm wondering if I can get some other items from the ones I'm missing. I can't wait for the gambler to be in the game as well. Getting that gold sunk into oblivion. Me and gambling in games has always been like Geet. Geet in Diablo 2 was my favorite. Then his daughter in Diablo 3, Kadawa, was also my favorite place to spend my hard-earned resources and money. Let's see, any more? And yeah, by the way guys, if anyone needs to team up, needs help with anything, or wants me to just show him different things about Torchlight Frontiers, don't be afraid to ask me to. Anything, regardless what it is. Whether it's needing information about what's currently in the game, or whether you want to see some skills, you want to see some different builds, I can respec. Currently all my characters can be respec'd into a different build for free. So I've got 2 more blue maps and then I'm gonna go on another character. Just letting you know. This one is Goldwag maps. Oh shit, I sold it. Well, okay, 1 more blue map. I just sold one. And I don't think I can buy it back. Alright. let's do this Gold Rush map. But yeah, for Wilson, I'm pretty excited for Wilson. For also, I'm waiting for the fifth character in Chaos Bane. Chaos Bane does seem to be kind of dying out, but there's still a few people that are still playing it. So there is still a community in Chaos Bane, and hopefully with the new updates, it would liven up the Chaos Bane community as well. But Wilson at the moment is at the top of my ARPGs that I'm hyped about. I've been waiting since the game was. Even before the game was on Steam, when it was on Kickstarter. I did not buy it on Kickstarter, but I did buy it on Steam when it came out. And it went through so many transformations. It really was a clunky game when it first launched, but the current smoothness of the animations of the combat is something to commend them for. Making the CryEngine work for an ARPG is not an easy task, and they managed to do it. I can't wait to see the apocalyptic forms. I really want to see apocalyptic form with something like a machine gun, similar to Darksiders Genesis. It was amazing to see that. I only have one problem with Wosen, and that is how underpowered a pure mage build would be. A mage build that only uses mage skills. No rogue, no warrior, no tank. Just purely willpower skills. How underpowered this would be, because you either need to be using warrior or rogue or ranger or something like that to be generating a rage willpower transformation, to be able to like use rage so you can regain your willpower. This is my only problem currently with the current version of Wosen. But until the game is released and I see the new skills and I see what the caster archetypes have, I'm gonna wait. The same goes for Torchlight Frontiers. I just really want to see what update 10 brings before making a video about the changes that are coming, because I can only guess. I can only guess what is coming with update 10. Yeah, there are certain things that are confirmed in the travel, and I can make a video about those, but I'd rather wait for the patch notes. Because things change, plans change. But the game currently, if you're a fan of Torchlight as a universe, currently the alpha feels better than some launched games I've played. And this is in the current state. With update 10, this would feel like a beta from what we are seeing being added with update 10. It would be getting close to what some games are passing out as betas. Like for example, Last Epoch is passing out an alpha as a beta. Wosen currently is passing an alpha as a beta. Why I'm saying this? Because technically a beta would have all its story mode acts. Wosen has currently in the beta 1 story act out of 3. But that's fine. That's just different branding, different marketing, telling your audience that an alpha is a beta. And that's not too bad. I mean, Wosen is currently as a beta very nice, it feels smooth. I've not played Last Epoch, I've only watched videos, but what I've read on the official Steam page is that their vision for a beta is what people normally have as a vision for an alpha. Technically. But I really wanna try and play Last Epoch, so maybe when I'm done with enjoying Wosen after launch, enjoying Torchlight Frontiers Update 10, and enjoying the new class in Chaos Bane, the Dwarven Engineer. When I'm done with that, maybe I can invest some money and get probably with the spring sale, with the spring Steam sale, I could probably get Last Epoch. For now, my priorities would be to focus on the content, and in order to do that I would need some more storage space, preferably SSD. So that's what I'm getting soon. Already got my eyes on some candidates. I don't need this pet, I already have it. Oh, another thing, with Torchlight Frontiers I'm really hoping would get improved. This is, guys, the pet skills. I'm hoping we would get some new pet skills, and I'm really hoping that they would make it a bit easier to get this. It's been 4 months since those pet skills got released. I'm still to find Aura Defender and Screeching Stun. In that time I managed to level up another character to level 100 from the get-go. This is the Forged. I think when the pets got released, the Beast Buddies update, when Beast Buddies got released, my Forge was kind of like very low level, and my Realm Master was close to 100, if I remember correctly. So I was able to get the final few levels on the Realm Master, and I was able to level up a whole character up to level 100, and I still haven't gotten 2 pet skills. I know this is all getting wiped, and that's fine. But I really hope they would increase the chances of getting certain pet skills. Until I see update 10 I can only guess again. So I'm gonna change my character, but before I do that I wanna go to my fort and put this great sword somewhere there. And tomorrow maybe I can log in before streaming and record myself wearing this great sword. What I will be releasing soon, either shortly after update 10 or as soon as I get some info about when update 10 is coming, I would be releasing a video showcasing all the wood I have found. Many people would be interested in seeing what different wood is in the game. So what I did is I took off all my armors, something like this, and then I was wearing just a weapon, or maybe just an offhand. And just showing it like this, like if it's an offhand I would let it rotate for a few seconds, then unequip it and equip another one. Then maybe the same with the weapon. So I was doing this for every type of weapon for a few seconds, rotating the character as well, zoomed in like this, doing a few attacks, just to showcase the different things. And I would probably split it into melee. No, actually I'm gonna split it into armors, into weapons, and into shields and offhands maybe. Or maybe the shields and offhands can go with the weapons. Just want to make sure the videos are easy to digest. Short videos, no longer than 5, 6, 7 minutes maybe. Because currently it's 17 minutes altogether, all the content I've recorded. When I cut it, probably it would go to 15 minutes. But that can give you an idea of how much I've been recording, how many items. This is all the gear you're seeing here without the repeatable ones. Every single item that I've looted, together with the items that I have in my wardrobes. And it would be a shame if I make this collection go to waste before making like a memento of that collection to share with the community, so people who are new can actually see what different models there are in the game. If I was tight with the developers, I would have asked them to just provide me with a test account, just to give me access for a few hours on a test account with every single item in the game, so I can record it, make a good content video for them, and maybe let them even use it for promotional purposes if they want to. Because I'm not seeing the developers doing that. And I like when developers make videos with very fast, snappy like a trailer with all the items and sets and everything in the game visually, so you can just show the many faces of the game, the many faces of Torchlight Frontiers, because it's such a nice visual art style. I'm logging in another character now. I've been collecting, actually I had this idea for months. I've had this idea for months, but I was trying for months to collect all the items I wanted. Okay, it's obvious that I've been playing on the Forge and recording stuff. So...
Hey, struck red heart.
Hey Jorge Vasquez. Welcome to my channel, dude. Nice to see you here. I do hope you enjoy your stay, dude. And in the meantime, I'm not sure what I was wearing and what I wasn't. Okay, I think this is what I had. And I'm pretty sure I probably had those legs. Maybe not all the time. Oh, I did have this one. And I did have this and this. And I had this cannon. Okay, I think this is the gear I was wearing. Maybe I can grab this one for the Goblin Frontier, and I do not need the crit chance, so I'm gonna be wearing this. And I think that's my Goblin Frontier setup. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do those 4 Goblin Frontier maps. If anyone wants to join me, wants to farm some gear together, let me know. I can do that with you. I can let you join me on high level maps, or I can do your low level maps, help you with that. I'm a big fan of those new loading screens, by the way. Again, that nice, distinctively Torchlight Frontiers art style. One of the things that distinguishes Torchlight Frontiers for me is the universe being the way it is. It's so much different from the other ARPGs I play, such as Chaos Bane, or what was or Wosen, or Grimdown, or Titan Quest, all the other stuff I've been playing over the past close to a year since I started streaming in April. And I spent like close to 1,000 hours in this game, probably not exactly 1,000, but maybe 900, not 900 hours is probably kind of close to what I have, maybe a bit more in this game. So you can tell how much I've enjoyed this game, and I'm really hoping that by the end of this year we would see an open beta, maybe around autumn. Open beta with many people playing the game, so we can have some nice matchmaking, maybe random matchmaking, kind of like Diablo has matchmaking for rifts or matchmaking for bounties. And kind of how Wilson has matchmaking for story or for Soldier of Fortune, which is the end game mode. And the same way, even lobbies would be fine. Creating lobbies would be fine, but this game is not a lobby based game. It's not like Grimdown or Titan Quest where you can create a game and everyone else can join it. This is an online only mode game. So I'm assuming what there will be going for would be some sort of matchmaking Diablo or Wosen style, where you pick the type of content you wanna queue up for, and then you get teamed up with people who are at a similar progress or are selecting the similar type of content. I haven't seen anything like this on the Trello yet, because this is probably something that they implement in the beta, not in the alpha. So probably they're just keeping this under wraps. Even if they're working on something like this, they're probably deciding to not let us know. There's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. They've teased. They've teased about certain things, and the things I'm most excited about is when Max Schaefer teased D2-esque, D2-like creatures, not creatures, features. D2-esque features, so features similar to what Diablo 2 had. I'm wondering what that would be. One of the features he mentioned which he didn't reveal much about, is the hardcore based thing. So there's gonna be something probably to do with the hardcore mode that is similar to D2. I'm gonna be very excited to find out about this. I normally don't play hardcore because I just don't like I can't handle this. I'm too bad, I die quickly, so when I do hardcore I probably don't make it to level 10. So I stick to the more casual modes. But if there's something fun, occasionally I wouldn't mind doing hardcore tests, just to see how far I can go. What I really would like to see something maybe like the socketing system in Diablo, rather than the enchanting system we have here. Instead of stacking RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, I would like to have a bit less RNG, a bit more control over certain things. Currently we do have some control with the enchanting system, so I'm just gonna wait and see how they're gonna update it. Because the version that you're seeing of the enchanting system of the game currently is just a small glimpse of what they had in mind. They did have in mind for us to be able to level up the recipes and to be able to use other people's recipes if you already leveled up ours and filled the limit of max level recipes that we can have. I'm wondering if they decide to scrap this idea and maybe get rid of the leveling, or maybe even change it for a completely different enchanting system. We'll see. Cogsworthy Cannon, another legendary. What I do want on this guy is the shoulders for the skittering set, for this set. The shoulders. I have insectoid shoulders, which are nothing too fancy. Which are similar to the skittering set, but kind of very dark. Dark iron or dark steel, if it's called. I'm not sure how to call this. The black looking steel. And it just doesn't fit with this, and I think they're from a different set. Because with the forged I do have this Goblin Frontier set, which looks the same. And then from the skittering set, as I said, I'm missing shoulders and probably gauntlets. I think the shoulders and the gauntlets is what I'm missing. And I'm wondering if they even exist. Because if I equip all of those, they look the same. They're from the same archetype of visual looking similar set. But if I do this and this, you can see they're from the same skittering kind of visual. And the shoulders I've got kind of don't fit. So I assume that this guy doesn't have a celestial set like the Mage and Realm Master, and maybe he has two types of Hybrid sets, which is nice. It actually does fit him well. By the way, if you want to see a different build, let me know. This build is a ranged build. I was using melee skills, but this build is actually a ranged build. This is a build centered around Slugshot that I've been playing for the past month or so. I just got bored of playing the Fracking Strike build. I still have Fracking Strike, but yeah, this is all about cannon, and cannon builds are great with shields. If you're using a cannon build, cannon damage build, where your main damage comes from the cannon and you're not using any melee skills for damage, just for support, for utility, then you definitely would like a shield, because shield doesn't hurt your cannon damage. Shield hurts your melee damage, but it gives you survivability, and a cannon build with shield can be as tanky as it can get. Especially another tip I can give you: cannon build together with a wing blade. Wing blade is a sword that gives you block chance. So if you have a shield and a wing blade, you're gonna be maxing out the block chance, which I think was 40%, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 40% walk chance limit? Yeah, 40% is the cap. I'm currently maxing it out with the shield, I think, only. Or maybe with the shield and one more thing. I'm not sure what else gives me walk chance. Something else. It's not an aura. Oh, never mind, it is the aura. I was experimenting. I normally use this aura. So now I shouldn't be maxing it out. Oh, still 40%? Well, blimey, where do I get that much walk chance from? Is it a passive? Passive maybe? I don't remember there being a passive. I only know passives about melee damage, movement speed. Well, something is giving me walk chance that I'm not seeing clearly. This one is giving me 20 something. 30 something. So it's not 40. It's not 40. And this one doesn't give the walk chance to me, as you can see. Oh, there we go. It's 26 now. It is 26 now. So that's it. Now with the wing blade we can get this 26 to 40 easy, and that's what I had in mind when I start my forged leveling up after update 10. I will be probably doing swag shot with shield, and I'm gonna start it when I find the wing blade or another thing that gives block chance. Probably my first character would be mage, which I'm reading on the Discord that there would be enemies that would be resistant to spells in the next in the new frontier. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough, but I do always like to start with mages, and it's my tradition. In Torchlight, the first hero I ever created in April 2019 was a mage. So I'm gonna do the same on update 10. Even if it's difficult to do a new zone with a mage, which would seem a bit weird to make it that one character is severely underpowered against certain types of enemy compared to the others, which are just as powerful with the right builds, maybe just slightly less powerful currently as the mage. Currently the mage is the strongest with certain builds, but the Rail Master is the tankiest. The Rail Master can be a beefcake. It can be kind of unkillable with the shield car melee combo. And the forged can get close to the mage and shield master and Rail Master in regards to damage if you do a build based around fracking strike, or this one, the swag shot is not a bad choice if you manage to get your cannon crit damage to 300, which is the limit. So even if you have shit crit damage on the melee, you want the cannon to be 300, and you don't need crit chance on the cannon if you're using swag shot. We're also getting new skills. The mage would be the most mobile. If you want to be speedrunning stuff, if you want to be doing stuff quickly, you want a mage with luminous run and shadow step. I think shadow step is the teleport, the blink skill that the mage is getting. Might have gotten the name wrong, but if my memory serves me right, it will be shadow step. And I've always been a fan of blinking skills on mages. And as soon as I found out about this coming into the game, it gave me a nerdgasm, because I do enjoy my mobility, especially when I'm doing some hard content when leveling up. Okay. Okay, invigorated regenerates health, pretty bulky. I also want to see a pet that taunts, taunting pet. AoE shout that pulls the aggro, so that we can have some tanky pet builds. let's say the pet has block chance stacking items, and even if the pet is not reaching the max block chance, I think with the block chance aura we can get him to be more tanky. So if we stack block chance and HP on our pet and some defenses, maybe immunity to poison, immunity to fire depending on the frontier, immunity to maybe electricity and ice depending on the new frontier. A tanky pet with taunt would be my ideal pet for a summoner build. For a build that uses the Bone Razor with the Bone Blocker, with the Wood Beast Powdrons or Wood Beast items that give me the Hounds, together with the Bane and with the Spirit Well. All the critters, all the pets we can get. This together with the pet that can do taunt would be amazing. So that you have all of the damage from your pets, from your creatures, from your summons. Then the pet is doing the tanking and taunting, and you're just doing some support on the side and some extra damage. Even if you're not playing a mage, the only difference would be you're not gonna be using the what's its name, the Rift Well skill. You're not gonna be using Rift Well, Spirit Well, not Rift Well, Spirit Well. You're not gonna be using Spirit Well to summon Netherlings on other characters, but you can still have a nice summoner build with the unique items that we've seen teased when they get added into the game. Those mayhem affixes for the Bone Razor, Bone Blocker, the Wood Beast sets, soft sets, not sets. Do we want to do some spin to win, by the way? Anyone want to see some spin to win? If you want to see spin to win, I can change my build. The way I like playing spin to win is with shock and poison. To be shooting shock bolts and to be shooting with the Bane poison bolts. Because the spin to win has many attacks per second. More attacks per second means more procs per second, which means more missiles shooting and more bolts, shock bolts shooting from your target to the surrounding targets per second. That's why rapid fire together with the spin to win, with cyclone mode, is a great thing. Fracking strike also fits the bill. Fracking strike together with vortex bomb. Fracking strike is an AoE, and all of those shock waves can count as a hit and can count as a way to proc those poison and shock bolts. But I still think cyclone mode and rapid fire are the better ones if you want to be maximizing the procs per second. And it's not proccing just those things. Any proc that procs off of a crit chance or of a regular hit, like crit hit or regular hit, would be benefiting from skills that give you faster and more hits per second attacks. Okay, we're getting close to the end of this. But 2020 is definitely starting off with a bang in the ARPG world. So many games with important major updates. With Torchlight Frontiers it's a Jubilee update, by the way. Jubilee 10th Alpha Phase 3 update. Okay, nice. Oh, out of theme. So I'm gonna do a bit more on this guy and then I'm gonna go on the mage. Let's do this map, then one more map and then go on the mage. I can transfer some yellow maps to the mage from this dude. This dude currently has, I think, all the leftover yellow maps from my other characters. Okay, let's see. Overlay map is my one most requested feature in any ARPG. The one most requested feature would be an overlaid map that allows me to move. When I'm playing an ARPG without such a map, it feels weird to me. I wouldn't mind having to rebind the tab. So the tab button being able to open this menu is fine. I can just rebind it to something else, this option, and still have this one, but I would like to have a version of displaying this overlaid map on my screen and to just be able to kind of decide whether I want it to be a bit more transparent or to keep it like it is. So transparency options and an overlay. Almost every major ARPG has it, and long ago, back when I think in one of the streams with Anthony and Hobbs, Paul Hobbs, the old community manager, very cool guy, he's definitely missed. He's been so helpful to me when I had issues. So him and Anthony were talking about why currently we don't have such an overlaid map. And someone, I can't remember who of them said that they don't want this because it makes you follow the dot on the map, move the dot on the map, the cursor on the map, rather than moving in the game world and not paying attention to the game world. I think maybe for some people that's true, but for me that's not true. I still notice tiny details around the environment and the world, even if there's an overlay map. And there's also always the option to make it more transparent, so it's not gonna be intrusive. And no one is forcing us to use this. If there's an overlaid map, no one is forcing people to use it. It's an option, and it's a good option to have in ARPGs, which many people, me including, would be delighted to our utmost capabilities when we see such a feature in the game. It's just how we're used to it. It's how we're used to playing ARPGs. Some of us, not all of us, but I'm assuming the majority of us. It is nice to have an option to toggle it on off. Can't wait for damage numbers as well. And hopefully a dummy in the town, in the fort, that we can test our damage without needing to go into the wild and try and hit some innocent goblins and hivits and Vultura creatures to test our damage when making changes. But an item whore, a wood fiend like me, would enjoy the gambling probably the most out of all the changes. I can tell you that. After the new frontier, my second most sought after thing in update 10 would probably be the gambler. It's just a great way to negate bad RNG with some more bad RNG. Or maybe good one. Sometimes actually, to be honest, with gambling I've been more lucky than with finding drops. That's why when I was playing Diablo 3, my buddies couldn't believe how I've been pulling those primal items from Kadawa. whereas they've been pulling primal items from drops. So it's just my luck. Okay, I'm gonna transfer those maps. Or maybe let's do one more map and then transfer this and the remaining gearwork map to my mage. So just a quick sell of the gear I don't need. So this one, kind of the same one I've got without the sockets. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Everything's getting wiped.
How many characters do you currently have?
How many characters? Gesterly joking, I have 5 characters, 3 of them are level 100. I've got Mage level 100, I've got Railmaster level 100, and I've got Forged level 100. The Forged took me 3 or 4 months to max out. Because I don't only play it, I keep swapping between the Forged and I also switch between games. But the Forged took me the longest to level up because the other 2 I leveled up before the leveling became nightmare. Before the leveling changes. I have 2 more mules, which I was just using to sacrifice some, not to sacrifice, but to keep some gear. I was keeping some legendaries for when the legendary system gets added, or for when trading gets added. And when the enchanting system, got added, I kind of decided to use all the WoB legendaries and all the unnecessary legendaries I was keeping for materials. And then I did an experiment. I wasted around 135,000 gold on rerolling a cannon. One single cannon. My goal was to get 2 crit damage rolls. This was the cannon. And I've got everything recorded in some of my old streams over a few days. I wasted 100 and something thousand gold trying to get 2 crit damage rolls. In the end I just settled for flat damage and crit damage. It's just bad luck, and this is why I was saying that at first glance this enchanting system may seem nice, but then you realize how much RNG on top of RNG there is. So they either need to give us a way to negate stuff, or to make it a bit less expensive. No, the non-ref, this game is not out, this is an alpha. This is an alpha and you can sign up for the alpha. You can also go and follow Torchlight Frontiers on Twitch, which is... let me just go to the command.
https://www.twitch.tv/playtorchlight official TLF Twitch.
So on the official Torchlight Frontiers Twitch, normally every Friday at 11 AM Pacific time, which is 7 United Kingdom time and 7 in the evening United Kingdom and 8 in the evening Germany time, Central European time, just to give you some time zones as reference. Every Friday they do developer streams, Friday Fun Day streams, and you can try and get some keys there. It's not guaranteed that there will be keys in every Friday Fun Day stream, but recently it has been raining keys, and many of my viewers have won keys by getting into those streams. I always suggest someone who is watching my streams to go and watch the official Twitch streams, not just for the keys but for the inside info. You're getting behind the scenes footage from the developers. And Jorge, news about update 10. Currently the last thing we heard was that next week we would be getting news. So that's this week now. So tune in on Friday.
On January 20th something, so I will be busy those days, lol.
Yeah, Temtem is coming on January the 21st. If I had the game, I would be busy with it too. I actually have access to the alpha of Temtem, and I played the first public test. I will be playing and streaming the second and third when I make sure that the servers are stable. As for the Torchlight Frontiers news, tune in this Friday in the official Twitch channel. There should be some news with Jordan and maybe Lady Godfly, but Jordan for sure. We'll see who will be bringing the news. Sometimes I'm busy streaming when those streams are happening, so I watch the replays. And my guess is this week we're getting the Friday Fun Day. Next week we're probably getting the preview stream, and the week after next probably the update. This is just my guess, don't quote me on that. Take it with 1 or 2 grains of salt. Maybe even the whole salter, or whatever the place where you store the salt is called. If anyone needs help with Torchlight Frontiers, by the way, at the moment, feel free to hit me up.
Quoting you on that.
Alright. You can quote me on that then if you want, but it would be kind of a bad idea. And by the way, nice to see you all guys here on YouTube, Twitch and Mixer. I can't wait for update 10 so we can start teaming up and grinding those levels. And teaming up would be the way to go. Teaming up would give us some faster leveling, if you want to be leveling fast. I normally level solo when something launches or wipes, just to get it with my own pace, but since I already kind of know my pace in Torchlight Frontiers, I can also do it in a team, I guess. So, the hype is real. The hype is real, and there are so many games I'm hyped about at the moment. Wolsen launch on the 13th of February, update 10 with Torchlight, Warhammer Chaos Bane is soon getting a 5th character. Then Temtem is not really a game up my alley, but I enjoyed it. From what I saw, it is a fun game, and it will be a massively multiplayer Pokemon style game. So it's definitely something for those people who like collecting stuff to be playing and soaking some hours into, and just there's gonna be a huge community, which would be probably one of the best things about Temtem. The huge community of people testing their teams, their Temtems against each other's Temtems. For lack of other word, like setups maybe? Squads? Okay, squad was the official term, so let's say testing each other's squads and pitting them against each other. I'm also looking to see more about the Netherrealm in Torchlight. I wanna know more about the Netherrealm, more about the story, how they came to invade those frontiers. Someone mentioned something about after the game launching, the frontiers being paid DLCs. I cannot give you a quote for this, whether it's official or not. Someone just gave me this rumor that they mentioned about after the game launches, this game, the next frontiers would be expanded content which you kind of can pay for. So don't take this seriously. This could be just something that is either old news or incorrect news or just rumors. So I personally would like that model. I would like a model where they're making money by releasing expansions under the form of frontiers and new stuff that comes with each frontier expansion. This would be a great model. Although cosmetics would be probably one of the best things for a free-to-play game. Skins for pets, like buying a pet that comes with 0 skills that are unlocked, just a new skin that you can unlock, or buying skins that you can use in the transmog system that are donation only, or let's not say donation but microtransaction only, similar to Path of Exile. You can change how a certain weapon looks or how a certain armor looks. Something like this would be something I can see a free-to-play game monetizing without anyone batting an eye and saying it's paid to win or anything like that. This is the things I can see happening. Even if the contract system, which will be changing the way it works, also the fame system is changing how it works from what we've learned, not being tied to doing quests, but to rather completing some challenges and things like that. That's gonna be interesting as well. I wanna see more detailed crafting in the game as well. But it's still an alpha. Alphas are alphas for a reason. You can't have everything in an alpha. But bit by bit it's getting closer to a beta, and once all the major core systems are in place, the game would transition into a beta and be open to a wider audience. I've seen people giving the game bad reviews months ago and things like that on Reddit, saying it's unfinished, but it's an alpha. You can't call an alpha unfinished. Alpha is supposed to be an unfinished game. It's supposed to be just a part of the game, a work in progress. So I'm not seeing why people are unhappy that an alpha feels unfinished. It's an alpha. It's in the name. It's in the in the subtitle or whatever it's called. So there's been a lot of people playing it and getting disappointed, getting burned out for one or another reason. I'm gonna go to the mage in a bit. So let's go to my fort, put my map into the mage, into the storage, and give it to the mage. So 2020, big year for ARPGs. We are having Magic the Gathering ARPG. We are having what was its name? Minecraft Dungeons, which would be with a very nice price, $20 for the basic Minecraft Dungeons, and the more expanded Minecraft Dungeons, which would include 2 DLCs, kind of like a mini season pass, would be $30. That is a great price for a game of the hack and slash shooter isometric genre, and that's something that would be competing for the more casual game uh, of the spectrum with Torchlight Frontiers. So let's say Diablo 4, WoW and maybe even Chaos Bane would fit into the same category. Path of Exile is in a bit more advanced hardcore category than those, and then below those in regards to how complex a build is, but that doesn't mean that it's less fun to play, would be Torchlight Frontiers, maybe Magic the Gathering, the ARPG game, like Magic Legends it's called, I think, and then uh, together with those I'm placing Minecraft Dungeons. Those are the more casual, the ones that wouldn't require too much thinking to make a build, where making the build just suits towards a different playstyle rather than being I'm not a fan of using the word slave due to history with my country and being under centuries of of Ottoman enslavement, but I'm gonna say the term slave to the meta. This is a term I like using even though I don't like the word, but some ARPGs really make you be a slave to the meta. If you're not playing a meta build, you can't push the hardest content, you can't get the best items, you can't be effective in farming. Torchlight Frontiers does not have this bullshit crap going on about it. I can pick any skill, just name a skill, I can pick it, I can play with that skill, and I can be viable. I can complete any content with just that skill being my major source of the build. And with the introduction of legendaries with special affixes, we would even further have legendaries that speak to each skill. As Michael Mayhem, who created those, who is working on those affixes, said, the plan is to have a legendary that speaks to each skill and more. So with that, picking the skills you use for a build is just picking your playstyle, not picking the meta or non-meta setup. Of course, certain builds are stronger than others, more powerful, and more suitable for certain content compared to others, but the differences are small. Currently, the disbalance is not regarding the builds, but regarding the classes themselves. Regarding the Dusk Mage and Realm Master being slightly more powerful than the Forged, but with update 9, things changed. The Forged became a bit more powerful, still not as powerful as the Mage or the Realm Master, but it's getting there. It's getting there thanks to Sonic Pulse and Fracking Strike. I wanted to do something. I'm forgetting what. I wanted to do this and then do this. And then I'm going on the mage. And maybe let's do this. Shit. Okay, this. And this is a legacy bomb walker. It will be missed. What? No, no, no. Just by accident. Okay, now I've got enough maps for the mage. See, the game knows me. It knows what I want to play. It selects the character I want to play. Just a moment, need to take off my hoodie. Getting warm here. Okay, now on the mage, as you can see, I'm playing what I've been playing for the past month and a half, maybe more. I've been switching a few times to different stuff, but mostly it's my white spear based build. So we have white spear, which gives me bonus damage to itself and white charged buff duration. Then we have this one for dark skill mana cost, this one for dark skill damage, this one for luminous run duration, even from relic active skill damage, which I really don't need that much, but it's still good. This one only 4 points, because mystery skill duration kind of at the moment it's wasted, and I'm fine with the little damage I get from 4 points. Here we get this for white skill damage for this, we get this for white skill mana cost for this, we get entropy for the cooldown for those skills, and this for relic skill cooldown as well. And yeah, the main skills for damage are entropy and white spear. The rest is just utility. It's my favorite way currently to play the mage. It just feels so much like me playing this build. Having a good big damage nuke that pierces, and having a smaller trash clearing skill. And I've tried this one with energy spike instead of entropy, but entropy weighs more than it outweighs the energy spike, because this gives me white skills cooldown and this gives me white bar charge gain. And if I were to invest into energy spike, I have to remove points from different places. So I have an option to maybe remove some points from here, but that would make energy spike cost a bit more. So I think this way I've set it up is kind of my way of fitting my playstyle to the max. If you want to see certain skills, let me know. I will switch. I will switch and show you different skills, different builds while I can. Currently I can do it, because I have respect stuff, respect points. And speaking of respect, I'm also looking forward to how hard it would be to respect in the game. We know it would work in a similar way as Orb of Regret in Path of Exile, where you would be farming some resources and then you would be de-leveling a skill one by one. One level by one level, or at least that's the last time we heard about it, that's what they were saying. I might have missed something in between, but the last time I heard about this, that's how they were planning on it working. And this is a good way of it working as long as those resources are not too grindy to get. Like Wilson currently wins in regards to how easy it is to respec. It's not too easy, but it's not too difficult either. Respecing your attributes costs 100 times your level in gold. So if you're level 90, that's gonna be what, 9,000 gold. If you're level 20, that's 2,000 gold. And respecting your passives costs the same amount but in affinity. So 9,000 affinity for a level 90 character is what, if the formula is kept the same way on launch, unless they change the formula. Which is still possible on launch for things to change. And it's pretty easy because you can, currently on level 20, you can sell items for up to 3, 4, 500 per item depending on the rarity. Even 600 if it's a very, very good item. Which kind of gives you what, 1/4, or maybe let's not say 1/4 but 1/6 roughly of the respec per item, and you can find many items pretty easily. Yellow items raining everywhere. So in Wosen the respec is just the right amount of easy to do. And my joy from playing ARPGs, you might hate me for saying this, but the thing I enjoy most in ARPG hack and slash games is not the story, it's not the farming, but it's actually respecing and testing new builds. Which comes after the farming. I need to farm for new items that give me new special things that open up new builds. So I do enjoy the farming, but the thing that gives me the most joy in ARPGs is playing and experimenting with different skills and with different items to make different builds, to find synergies, to think of different ways I can combine this item with this skill, with that accessory, with that pet skill, with that relic, and so on. So this is what gives me the most joy. I know most people like the story, but for me, I'm someone that at the moment there's nothing that can surprise me when it comes to stories in games. Even in movies, it's a bit hard to surprise me. There's the occasional mindfuck movie that would surprise me and speak to the movie geek in me. And I am a movie geek sometimes, most of the times. So currently in the games it's very hard to shock me with the story, to show me something that's never been done before. But I always enjoy the journey, because even if I know the outcome, even if someone spoils the ending of a game for me, I would still enjoy the journey. I would still enjoy seeing how we get to there. But as I said, the most fun for me is just experimenting. So the more freedom we have for builds, the better. One thing that I don't like about Warhammer Chaosbane, for example, is how limiting the build system is. There's many skills that are complete trash skills currently in regards to the tiering. And the builds in Warhammer Chaosbane revolve around the only 4 sets for each class. Which with 4 classes with 5th coming just gives you kind of an idea how limiting it is. Most skills are pretty trash on most characters in Chaosbane. So currently in the ARPGs that I play, Chaosbane kind of scores the lowest in regards to how much fun I'm having by making builds there. But it doesn't mean that I'm not having fun. Torchlight has given me over 9 months already of fun. Making builds, farming wood, unlocking things, finding new items. Today you saw me finding an item I've never seen. These great blades that I never saw before for 9 months. So the game can still surprise me. In Wosen today I was experimenting with stacking as much rage as I can get, and I got up to 1600 something rage. And since I've got 14% damage per each 100 unspent rage, I think when min-max this setup can be interesting in WoWs, and I'm gonna show you this setup later. It's kind of the same one I was playing the other day, just slightly modified. Yesterday on Wolsen I found that I can combine a spin to win Blade Storm together with a spinning axe around me. So I can use Bleeding Edge, which is an axe that spins around me. So I can cast quickly two of those axes, and while those axes are spinning around me and I'm moving and they follow me, I can use my spin to win Blade Storm, and I can just have spin to win with the spin axe, which is which is something I never just considered the possibility of it. And then yesterday, I don't know how, it just struck me, and the pun was not intended, but it should have been, I guess. It really struck me that I can combine those two skills and have a spin to win times 2. Spin to win squared. And moments like those are what streaming and experimenting with builds is for me. Similar moment for me was the first time in Chaos Bane I found out about back then when we had the unlimited teleport build. The unlimited teleport on the Belkoradris set in the invasion update, like 1.05 or 1.04, before they kind of nerfed it and rebalanced it. So that was another eureka moment back then. So those eureka moments are the joy for me in hack and slash games. And with Torchlight Frontiers there's been a lot of those, because you don't have to try too hard in Torchlight Frontiers to find something fun and viable setup. There have been times where on the mage Energy Spike was the strongest, and everyone was doing Energy Spike builds, everyone was playing Energy Spike. And this didn't mean that the other skills are complete trash, it just meant that they're slightly less powerful and just people didn't like using them. But now that's no longer the case, especially after they boosted Entropy, such a great skill. Diablo 2, what was it, Glacial Orb? Or was it Frost Orb? I kind of am bad with remembering names of things, but yeah, it so much reminds me of Diablo 2 Sorceress, which you probably guessed it, was my main, even though my first character in Diablo 2 was a Paladin. I ended up switching later on to a Sorc, just because I like nukes. I like big nukes raining from above or from my wands or staffs. In this case, with Torchlight Frontier, from my biggest one-handed sword. One of my favorite sword designs in Torchlight Frontiers as well. And it has a version with fire, which I found with 666 damage. I'm keeping it for memes. I have the fire version of this sword, the sizzling something something. I kind of forgot the full name, with 666 damage. A level 21 item, I think. It's just kind of the best type of damage you can get on a burning sword in a game. So you can see I'm playing on the highest difficulty, on ridiculous. So that's why I'm playing a bit safer. I'm trying to stay behind, not get hit. Sometimes I'm just spamming skills, sometimes I'm not doing my combo. Normally the combo probably would be doing Damnation first, then maybe Consecration and starting to spam the spells, such as depending of how the enemies arranged, either piercing with right spear or doing entropy to get more spread out enemies. Can't wait for the holy boat splitting into observers. This would be amazing.
Your pet has returned.
Observer together with blasting charge would probably be something I want to be doing. I want what I actually want is something like Absolver that maybe pulls the enemies. Not Absolver, but Blasting Charge that doesn't push and repel enemies, but rather sucks them in. Kind of like the Vortex Bomb. Or maybe Vortex Bomb on the Forged that does the opposite. If you're playing a ranged build on the Forged, I would really love to see a repelling Vortex bomb rather than vacuuming, rather than a condemned style Vortex Bomb. Because you can get Vortex Bomb down to 0 cooldown, which is an overkill because you still need the heat. So I found that the best cooldown is between 1.1 1.3 seconds for Vortex Bomb on the Forged. If you don't use Shotgun Blast, if you don't put points into Shotgun Blast, you can do 3 or 4 fracking strikes to max out your heat, to do a max damage Vortex Bomb. Fracking Strike Vortex Bomber with Sonic Pulse is amazing. Can't wait to get this build going on in update 10 with items that modify those skills I've mentioned. I also want a dual pistol mage, if it's a thing, if it's possible to get a mage with dual pistols, and maybe summons. Maybe the summoner can be a dual pistol mage, the way I want to make it. My pet master mage with dual pistols. This is what I want in update 10. With the hounds, the skeleton army. Maybe something spectral if I can get it, but I think getting something spectral would mean sacrificing either the Bone Razor or Bone Walker, which if I sacrifice one, might as well sacrifice the other. And it just removes the whole Necro Summoner setup out of the equation. I think the Spectral ones would be better for something else. Maybe the Spectral ones would be good for a Realm Master with Shield Car, where you can have the Spectral ally standing near the car together with you. I'm not sure why I'm breaking stuff down. Do we have something to experiment? Do we want to put the RNG to the test? Got 12,000. What do we want to test? Let's remove the bleed chance on this one. Or this one is crit chance versus bleeding and physical. This one, let's try and get crit damage with crit chance maybe. Nice. No. Nice. No. Nice. No. No. Yeah. No. Okay, go to 6 more tries. 6 more tries. 5 more tries. 4 more tries. Okay. No. No. And this is what I'm telling you, it's like RNG on top of RNG. So first we're gonna need to find the correct legendary. And that's okay. We're gonna be finding the correct legendary. Then we need to get the correct stats out of the correct part of stats. And sometimes you're gonna be so unlucky that you're never gonna get the combo you want. Unless the game really decides to bless you with some luck. So I've got another legendary map to do. This one's a Goblin Frontier one. Do I have my Goblin gear? Oh, I've been doing high vit without equipping my high vit items. The last map. Okay. I guess it worked out well. Wind and knockback on my ice white. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong ice white. Holy... Yes, I had a mana regen ice white somewhere and I know where it is. It went here. Yes. No? That's my Steam one. Okay, there should be another ice white somewhere. Somewhere out there. I'm pretty sure there was another ice white. I was wondering why my mana regen is suffering. I had 2 times mana regen with another time mana regen. With another 2 times mana regen or something like that. I probably put it in a different character. I'm pretty sure I've not deleted it. And it was level 50. It was definitely not this level. But yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Just a moment, my pet is begging me for food, although he is spoiled. He's been eating a lot. Say how hungry you are. Yeah, he's just hearing the food. Just give me a moment, guys. Sorry for this, but he's a creature. He kind of he's begging for food, so I have to give him some. I keep spoiling him, but as long as he's not too fat and as long as it's not unhealthy for him, that's fine. Okay, so after this map I'm gonna see what to do. I'm not gonna do this full map. I'm gonna do one side or maybe zigzag it. Normally the way I do this map is I go one side up, then the other side down, and then back the other side up when there's no enemies, just sprinting. When I go for a full clear. Let's see what else. This one. Alright, let's stack some damage here. Let's stack some DPS. Actually, do I want to use White Spear? Entropy does the job as well. Boom. Boom. And more boom. And even more boom. What I do want is, oh yeah, the more boom setup would be if I'm using the fire relic. That's where we have those explosions. And we have those meteors falling from the sky. One of my favorite relics. It's a bit too much on the ice sometimes, but the duration is not too long. And even though it's a bit too much on the ice, it's nice. It feels good having this OP AoE raining on the whole screen. Knowing that it's on a big cooldown, it has that impact. It's not like this is the main skill that I'm spamming, so it's not like in Path of Exile some builds are kind of spamming the whole screen and you can't see what you're fighting, you can't see what's attacking you, and you end up dying because the whole screen is covered in effects and you can't even see your character from them. So in this game this is not the case. Definitely not the case, even with the fire relic active skill. Okay, so now we're gonna do dog jockey, I think. I do call dog jockey Benji. I like to think that his saber-toothed thingy is called Benji. So he may be called dog jockey, but maybe the goblin hound is not, and maybe the goblin hound is called Benji. It just looks like a Benji to me. I've been calling him like that for a long time. Another thing that maybe some of you may not have noticed, if you don't kill the boss right away and come here, you can get some elites to spawn. If you're leveling up, you can get a champion or a unique enemy or a legendary enemy, or just some extra goblins for XP. So I just noticed this last month maybe. So I spent what, hundreds and hundreds of hours not noticing this thing exists. And then I once forget about killing the boss and I just kept moving forward and ended up spawning some enemies there and killing them and getting like an elite or whatever to spawn at the same time. As I said, the game keeps surprising me. Because I don't know who would ever wanna go there knowing that the boss is straight in front of you. Unless you're having a hard time killing the boss and the boss ends up running all the way there, or you end up running away from the boss there. But yeah, it's kind of very hard to put yourself in a situation where you would find out about this. What about this one? Pet sale item time. Yeah, this is a farming medallion. Of course I don't need it right now, but I will need it for when I'm farming money for gambling, when it gets introduced. I may not like real life gambling, but in-game gambling, oh man, sign me up. Let me sink my goat into there. Easy D, welcome back dude, nice to see you. How have you been? Pet, go sell pet. Oh, why am I using Finn's beak? I should be using my other pet. Oh yeah, because I was recording footage and the flying pet was in my way of showing items. Where is my regular pet? Regular pet, regular pet.
All good. Great game.
This game is amazing. I've been a fan of the Torchlight universe. I'm not like an encyclopedia like some of the people who have played so much Torchlight 2 and 1. But I've been a fan of the franchise, especially with mods. Currently, if you don't have access to Torchlight Frontiers, if you want to get the Torchlight experience, you can just download maybe the Synergies mod on Steam, or you can even download the Dracus mod pack, which combines the Synergies mod together with more mods, and you can have a great time playing Torchlight 2 with extra content that the community created. And there has been a lot of content that has been community created. And speaking of community created, believe me, a huge part of this game has been influenced by the people on the forums, on Discord, on maybe Reddit. I don't go that much on Reddit, kind of stopped like a year ago or so. I just pop every now and then, but I'm not like going there every day. but definitely on the forums there have been cases where they would provide us with a work in progress concept about what is coming in a week or two. Give us your feedback. And then some people, maybe some of those people are actually watching now, would throw some nice and reasonable comments regarding certain things that they think could change. Examples I've given and would give again were the relic weapon rework. First of all, I think they wanted to give us 50 skill points, and I think they wanted
When
it
it
to
will be
be
released to
level
public.
10
I have
maybe.
waiting for key but no luck.
Well, make sure to tune in on Friday. This Friday there would be a stream. 7 in the evening United Kingdom time, 11 in the morning Pacific time, 8 in the evening Germany time, just to give you some examples of when to expect the stream. So with this relic system, as I was giving you an example, uh, each of the relics had an option at the start to spec into extra damage against goblins or extra damage against Hivit. And then of course many people said, well, why do you limit us to just damage types to a certain frontier? Why not give us something more general? And then I think Anthony and Paul were watching that thread. They probably decided to forward this to whomever is in charge, although I do believe Anthony probably was in charge of this, and they decided to change it. So now what we have in those relic weapons, which would not be relic weapons but relics with update 10, the first two types are something like crit to bleeding or extra crit chance while the relic is active, or blah blah blah, something that is just general. It's not bonus damage to enemies from one zone, bonus damage to enemies from the other zone. I'm gonna quickly show you just the example with the whatchamacallit, the Bane. So you have crit striker, crit chance while Bane is activated, or toxicity. So toxicity is quite nice, of course, but I decided to go for this. And before, one of them used to be Goblin Frontier damage, the other one Hivit. So just an example of how feedback from the community makes it into the game. I'm not sure why I can't enter my portal, by the way. This is a legendary map. I really don't want to lose it. But it's getting wiped soon. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna spawn a new map, or maybe go back to character selection and rewalk. One map down. Yeah, it's not gonna vote. Is the server disconnected? Am I having issues? I can check my ping. I'm gonna quickly check my ping. Come on, vote, vote. What I like to do is spin the wheel, move the wheel with my mouse. I'd like to make myself think that this makes it go faster. Of course it doesn't, but it is my way of doing quoting screens. Yeah, it's just gonna put me back into the town. And I can't, I have to wait for this to time out. Yeah, it timed out. Back to character selection. Now I'm probably gonna get message disconnected from the server. Maybe not. Okay. I'm just gonna start the map from here. One less extra loading screen. We are doing Goblin now. This one. Yeah, let's equip this one. Another moist valley. Okay. It's a naughty valley. and and the game just rewarded me by making lame jokes. Every time I do a lame joke, shortly after I get the legendary, just confirmation bias on my end, but then that confirmation bias, it just keeps happening. I should rename my channel to lame jokes every now and then. That jokes as well. I need to start making that jokes, because everyone laughs at that joke. Not really, but alright.
Do you know if Final Reals will have control support?
Controller support. I think the game already has controller support. Wait. Well, I don't have a controller at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I've heard about people playing it with controllers. Maybe it doesn't. I'm just really kind of out of the blue here. If anyone who's watching knows, feel free to share the info. I would appreciate it. Also, I might try and ask this. I'm gonna quickly give you a link where we can post questions that the community manager would then forward to the developer in charge. It is questions for the devs. Questions for the devs. I'm posting it in all platforms. It's in the wiki. So in here you can go ahead, and I'm not sure whether everyone has the permissions to add new questions. But I'm assuming they probably left it open to the community to add questions, and then Jordan, the community manager, is supposed to when he has some free time, read those and maybe forward them and write the answers below this. This is the AMA currently we have for the game. So something like this would be a great question for there. If there isn't already support for controllers. And the game doesn't require many buttons. There's like what, 6, 7, 8, 9 buttons with the pet cell 10 buttons. What else am I missing? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, and then there's inventory, and then you can just use the arrows here to switch maybe, and maybe left right to switch. We'll see. I think it can be easily ported to a controller if it's not already. They're planning on releasing it for PS4 and Xbox on launch. So if it's gonna have Xbox binding and PS4 binding, I'm kind of 99.9% sure PC would have support for controller on launch if it doesn't already. I don't know whether they will be releasing on the Switch, but I'm also kind of 90% sure that they probably would release on Switch eventually, because Torchlight 2 is already on the Switch, and it's a great game to play on the Switch. So it would make sense to release this one as well. It would fit right up there with the other more casual ARPGs we have on the Switch at the moment. And just perfect. Okay. Are we getting close? Yeah. We are almost there. I'm gonna stream for another like half an hour, by the way, and then I'm gonna do a short break and then Wosen. If you're interested in some Wosen, if you wanna play together, if you wanna just farm some stuff or even do story mode, I can join you, or you can join me, or whatever. We can just join someone else together. Wosen has so much potential. Torchlight Frontiers as well. A lot of possibilities. With the right approach, both games can have their audience, which are kind of different types of audiences. I think not everyone who plays Torchlight would like Wosen, and also not everyone who likes Wosen would enjoy Torchlight. So there's that difference between the more casual and more cartoonish, cel shading looking Torchlight Frontiers compared to the uh, slightly bit more depth that Wosen can offer, and the grimmer universe in Wosen compared to this one. So this game probably kids and teenagers would enjoy playing as well as adults, whereas Wosen probably would be a 16 plus or 17 plus um, rating game. Nicodemus. I don't want Nicodemus at the moment. Do we want to do mapception? I think let's do a mapception until we break the game. Let's try and break the game. Mapception, map inside of a map, inside of a map, inside of a map. I think the most I've gone once was 4 or 5 levels deep. Or maybe it was more, I kind of forgot before the game kind of crashed on me. I was trying to break it back then. proper bug hunting. Try and figure the weirdest shit out that can break the game. And yeah, mapceptions, you can see you can't go back, it's under construction. I can probably go back though, but it says so though. Even if I do this, it does say to my fort. But if I were to go to the town, would it port me to the town? The port of the end would also say under construction because it's porting to the previous map. So let's do, this one should say to the travel point. Oh, it didn't even work. It didn't even work, interesting. Oh, Skelly Man. Unique Skelly Man here. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Is my pet tanky? Chance to walk 16, and oh yeah, that's a 28% chance to walk pet. With a lot of crit chance, crit. I'm gonna be missing this. This is gonna be my missing link from my pet builds. I really like that this one was fixed. It always dropped with crit chance, crit damage, and bleeding long ago. Those are legacy items. You can no longer get it. You can still probably get it with those stats, but the chances are pretty low. And I think the Bloodlust tag now has something fixed there that's different than this. So I think that's kind of an impossible thing to happen. But now you can enchant tags, so you can get more utility or survivability for your pet. So there's that as well. Here. Wait, so wasn't there supposed to be some enemies jumping out from here? Maybe that's only when there's goblins in this layout. Right, since there's no goblins, just there we go. Good thing I came down here. not even picking everything. So guys, if you wanna see different skills, let me know. I can show you quickly some bit of beaming. Let's beam away. And let's use dark spears for a bit. Going for the max swow. 50% plus 50% equals 100, but in this game the limit of swowing is 80%. Before we used to be able to do 100% swow build. Oh no, I need to go back. I can't miss killing legendary enemies. It's a shame if I let them live. Legendary Skellyman. Tiny Tina would be disappointed if we don't kill the Skellyman. And we get Celestial Boots. Beam, beam, beam. Alright. Just a quick check. Oh, Absolver Holy Bolts with Luminous Run. Not a bad pair. Not a bad pair and a pretty nice combo. Because imagine this item on the build that makes you cast Absolver when you're casting Holy Bolt every now and then. The thing is, would it consume additional energy when casting it, or does it only consume the initial energy cost of the Holy Bolt itself? If it only consumes the Holy Bolt itself, then the Absolver energy cost probably is not needed. Unless you decide to use Absolver manually yourself too. So yeah, a little bit of beaming in our life. I wish there could be an effect of this skill where I'm targeting an enemy with the beam and the beam splits into 2 or 3 more little beams that deal like 25% of the damage to nearby targets. Like if I were to make a legendary item, I probably would make one like this. Changes the element of the beam to dark instead of light and makes it hit nearby targets. Reduces the damage by a bit of the main beam to let's say 80% of what it normally does, and adds another 25% damage to extra 3 targets by a let's say I'm hitting this enemy and then there's 3 different beams randomly selecting the nearby targets. And if there's no nearby targets, this gets nullified, which makes the thing even harder to code. But even if we leave the last part behind, the one that nullifies the spreading when there's no nearby enemies, even if we leave this part out of the equation, it's still a good effect. I'm fine with sacrificing some of the damage. Currently we have piercing, so losing the piercing and getting that effect would be interesting. But the piercing is still great, look at that, when we line them up perfectly, it's nice. But the other one would be nice when they're not lined up perfectly. Currently with the piercing, we're getting the same damage I think on the pierced targets, the targets behind the initial one. So that's a bit more overpowered than... Let's not say overpowered, but a bit more powerful than what I was just thinking about. And changing the damage to dark won't do much in this game, so maybe changing the element to something else like shock would be interesting, or fire, or poison. something that would actually apply ailment, because this one doesn't apply ailment, and dark damage also doesn't apply ailment. Or maybe mixing in a bit of poison or fire or whatever damage, which we still do from our weapon. Even though I'm using a white skill, I'm still getting chance to poison from this. So that's currently what's happening. But I still want us to be able to feel the dark bar by using this skill, even if the damage is changed to a different type. But I know why they're not doing things like that change the type of the damage to different one. Just to avoid things like it being weak against certain enemies, strong against others, and just being the go-to one for certain content and avoid it for another. Imagine a frost one. Frost one would fit so well with the swallowing, and instead of chance to swallow, chance to chill. Maybe. And having this slightly the effect that it's if little particles of ice are hitting a hard surface, slightly chilling it, having this effect constantly coming as a sound from you beaming this one with the frost. That would be amazing. I can already hear it in my head how it sounds. And the longer you beam, the closer you get to completely chilling a target. Of course, on bosses it probably should be a bit more difficult to do it. So yeah, I'm just showing you a little bit of different playstyle, because you saw me spamming Entropy and White Spear, and since I do have those skills already learned, why not use them? Let's do some Dark Spears only. Let's see the damage of Dark Spears. You can see it's not much, but it can still do damage. It can still dish out a bit of extra DPS. And that is fine. And when you stack them together, then you have the good synergy. Like, let's do this. They're ranged, so they're not gonna move there from there. I don't have as much energy mana again as I want to. If I had a better offhand, it would be with more mana again. Like 2 enchanted mana against on top of extra, maybe 1 or 2 mana again. This one gives me 27 mana again, not bad. What about this one? Fix stats, I kind of forgot about it. The Liu Gen. I wanna do this here. Stack the 2 skills together. See? Change my playstyle, but it's not bad. I didn't even change my skills, my passives, like my allocation of the skill point. Just changed the active skills I used to something different. Now another thing I can do is go for this and for this. So I'm gonna be using the 2 basic skills. Oh, wow. So the damage is not so much for single target here. This one is pretty random. By the way, this is one of my favorite skills in regards to how it works. Look at how, if you're new to the game, you've never seen this, do you see how they travel in different direction every time? This is completely randomized. In one of the streams with Paul Hobbs, the previous community manager, and Anthony, the game director, they were showing how some of the skill mechanics work, some behind the scenes work with Unreal Engine, and they were just changing some parameters, making certain things change. Such as this skill maybe not being as randomized or being more randomized, having an extra projectile or two, and things like that. And let's do this now.
You're refreshed.
Pew pew. Okay, let's go back to the original setup to
You are overburdened. You can't carry anymore.
Alright, got them all. Well, what's next? Let's see. Here, here. And who's here? Alright, moving on. Moving on. Let's group more together. Group them, AoE them to oblivion. Come on, come on, come on. Gather up. And now stay a while and take damage. Stay a while and take some more damage. Probably saw me just using a potion even though I didn't need it. My pet did though. Just precautions, not getting the pet to die. This is a great feature, being able to use a potion even if you have max HP, just to heal your pet. This was one of the features I was actually requesting via feedback some months ago before it got added. Was very happy to see it making it into the game. Probably the two things me requesting this and this getting into the game are not related, because many people might have requested this and suggested it before me, but it's a nice coincidence. And things like Spike Drive or Fracking Strike are similar to things I've been like just earlier I was thinking about weird skills that we can maybe have in the game. Well, I've thought about many of those throughout my streams, and I'm seeing some similarities in the skills we are getting, and I'm very happy to see things that are similar to what I enjoy. So the recent skills with update 9 were all fun for me, all new skills. Like this one is probably the only one that I never thought of something like that, but all the other ones I've been asking to get something similar in one way or another. Like perfect white spear, then we have, just a second, don't die, don't die. Fuck, I had my hands off of the keyboard. So something like Fracking Strike I was wanting for the Rail Master. But we get it on the Forged and then I'm even happier. Then on the Rail Master we get something similar to what I want. Initially I wanted something like Energy Spike, but with the cone of Fracking Strike and in the wave how Fracking Strike works. In different spike waves, not one spike but the whole spike wave coming from the ground. but then something like half of this gets added as a fracking strike on the forged, and then half of this with the spikes on all the sides gets added as spike drive. So I ain't even mad having those being split into two different skills the way I described them myself before when they didn't even exist. So it was pretty nice seeing things like that being added. Because yeah, having cone of spikes would have been too similar to energy spike, because it's kind of yeah two rows similar to a cone of spikes showing up from the ground like yeah like StarCraft worker. So it would have been too similar if we had two of the same. So I don't understand why the new ones are a bit different, yet kind of keeping the same sort of purpose. So mapception round or depth number 2, meaning map number 3. Mapception. We're doing the mapception. That's probably gonna be the last map. Maybe I'm gonna take a short break for dinner, or maybe no dinner yet, and just a short break to update my thumbnails and titles and everything. And then I'm gonna start a stream with a bit of WoS, and we'll see. We'll see. The least it would be 5-10 minutes break, but first this map. If you wanna watch WoS, and make sure to come 10-15 minutes after this, so I would have started farming already. But first let's complete that one all the way to the end. My pet is dead, so I'm gonna let it rest for a bit. Wilson, I want to experiment more with the build I made. I want to get the second unique gloves, and I want to get the unique shoulders. Just want to try and min-max this setup that I've been trying to min-max for a few days. I've been modifying the skills over the past few days for this spin to win setup with the shield charge with the warpath. I wanna see how far I can push it and what items I would wanna be saving up when the game launches. The spin to win seems like a very good starter build, but a projectile based rogue mage also seems for Wolsen like a very good starter setup. Yesterday I started the campaign with projectile based setup with ranged skills together with fireball and arctic spear, and just stacking damage to projectiles and other damage bonuses, and that extra one projectile node. I actually rushed for the one extra projectile node through one of the green parts, like I think it was Sentinel, all the way to maybe Ranger, I think it was called, the other one. So I did rush this one yesterday, and it seemed to be doing well. And when I unlocked Havoc Corp at level 8 or 9 with some mediocre blue with a bit of yellow gear and some whites, I was doing 300 something damage, which was pretty big chunks of the enemy's HP if they're bosses. So for starter build, maybe that's what I'm gonna be doing when Wolsen launches. Projectiles based range setup. Either this or a spin to win build or a bleeding catch build. Definitely turret would be involved in any setup I do until I unlock the summons. Once I unlock the summons, my goal would be to move on to a turret based summon build, and if I have summons with projectiles on the Necro in Wolsen, I would be doing a projectile based summoner with turret. This would be just the way I can combine those words in a game as a build. It's just mind-blowing how Wolsen allows us to do something like this. A increased projectile base damage and increased projectile number, piercing projectiles, pet build on a necro with a turret. Just those words together. Never have I imagined that I would see something like this being possible in a game. At first glance, the possibilities in Wolfsen seem limited. But then you think of how many ways there are to combine different skills with different passives to squeeze some stuff. I also want to experiment in the next few days with some ailment based damage as soon as I get the ailment belt and maybe some more ailment items. I want to see how strong an ailment setup would be. Some weeks ago, like maybe a month ago, I was testing ailment based force shield build. It was terrible, but I didn't have good gear then, so obviously it would have been terrible. With the good gear, probably it would work well. I'm wondering if I can go for a toxic one with those toxic rings and the dagger for the toxic damage, and go for like a close ranged rogue, or maybe was it toxic annihilation, the beaming skill that we had as an option? Kind of need to check. But yes, guys and gals, this would be it for the moment. I will be streaming some more, but not Torchlight Frontiers. Give me 5-10 minutes to update my titles, thumbnails on YouTube, and everything else like titles and the game on Mixer and Twitch, and my social media blasts. Once it's done, I will be coming back. So until next time, thanks for watching. Keep it cool, and until either shortly or the next time you are here. Goodbye.